My name is Emma, and sometimes words slip out before you realize how deep they'll cut. That night, I said something I can never take back. Something small on the surface, but it cracked everything wide open. It wasn't during a fight. No shouting, no slammed doors. Just an ordinary evening that carried a quiet heaviness, the kind that makes you feel like everything is sliding out of your grasp and you can't hold on. I was sitting at the kitchen table, flipping through an old photo album I had dug up while cleaning. Pictures of me when I was younger, freer, and hopelessly in love with someone who wasn't Matt. My husband of 5 years was at the counter making coffee, moving slower than usual, wrapped up in his silence. Lately, that silence felt bigger than the room itself. Matt. I called out softly, unsure of myself, unsure of what I even wanted to say. I found some old photos. From before we met. He turned his head, worry already showing in the crease of his forehead. And without planning it, without thinking it through, I said the words that would slice through the fragile air between us. I was just thinking about Jake. My first love. Sometimes I wonder if I made the right choice. Maybe I should have stayed with him. The words landed like a knife. Matt froze mid-pour, the coffee pot suspended in his hand. His face went white. What's that supposed to mean? His voice was tight, trembling with something I couldn't place. Anger, heartbreak, confusion. Maybe all three. Instant regret swallowed me whole. That wasn't what I meant. Not really. It wasn't about Jake. It was about the hollow space inside me, about needing to feel something real again. But the damage was already done. I don't know, Matt. I tried to brush it off, my voice shaky. I just mean, sometimes I wonder how different things would be if I'd stayed with him. If my life would feel fuller. The look on his face twisted my stomach. Pain, disbelief, betrayal, all written across his expression. You're seriously telling me this now? His voice was quiet, but it carried the weight of a hammer. I didn't mean it like that, I stammered, standing too quickly. Everything feels wrong lately, and I don't know what's happening to me. He didn't answer. The silence pressed down harder than any scream could. His jaw locked as he turned away from me, his shoulders rigid. And then, in a voice barely more than a whisper, he said, "Maybe you're right. Maybe you should have stayed with him." The words gutted me. He grabbed his keys, his coat, and walked out the door without looking back. I stood frozen, too shocked to chase after him, too guilty to call his name. The hours that followed stretched into an eternity. No call, no text, nothing. Just silence. That night I lay awake replaying it, hearing my own voice over and over. Maybe I should have stayed with Jake. Why had I said it? Why had I even thought it? Days blurred together in a haze of guilt. I reached out, called, messaged, begged, but Matt never answered. And in his silence, I began to see the truth I had ignored for years. Our life together, flawed as it was something I had leaned on, depended on. He was the anchor that steadied me. And I had cut the rope. I started thinking of Jake more often, replaying what life might have been like with him. But the more I imagined it, the clearer it became. Jake belonged to my past. Matt was supposed to be my future. I had chosen right the day I married him. Only now it felt too late to prove it. A week passed before I heard from him. His message was short, sharp, and final. "I think we need time apart. I can't keep doing this." I read it again and again, each word heavier than the last. He was gone, at least in the ways that mattered. The months that followed were an endless loop of apologies, attempts to reach him, and empty hope. Nothing worked. He stayed distant, and the trust we'd built, the connection we once had, remained shattered. It wasn't just Matt I had lost. It was the fragile thread that bound us, the sense of safety, the love that used to feel unshakable. And I had been the one to unravel it with a single careless thought spoken aloud. Looking back, I finally understood. Jake was never my future. Matt was. But by the time I realized that, I had already destroyed what we had. So if you're reading this, Remember, love is delicate. Words can destroy it faster than betrayal or distance. Don't wait until silence is all that's left. Don't wait until regret is all you have.